come free with the duck and an eagle shooting the breeze. From paintball fields to campfire fun, you know the rowdy talk's just begun. Now kick up your feet and pour a glass. We're about to have a blast. We're the rowdy ones. We're the rowdy ones. The rowdy ones.
How's it going tonight? Really excited about tonight's guest. It's a man who needs no introduction, a man who, cut his teeth in early 10-man days playing for legendary teams like Jack's Warriors and the All-Americans. Went on to, own his own team in Avalanche, play and own that, as well as, play for teams like Dynasty and a slew of other teams. Among his many accomplishments, he was back-to-back World Cup champions in 2003 and 2004 for the NXL, first-time NXL champions. You went through pretty much every iteration of the game as a player, as an owner, as a marker manufacturer, and now you're slinging donuts to everyone. So, as a guy in his youth was known for just his energy, his excitement, his athleticism on the field, as well as his intelligence, to someone who is obviously a lifelong paintball fanatic like myself. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, Frank. And to everyone out there listening, you should know him, but if you don't, this is my man, Frank the Tank Connell.
Wow. Thank you for that introduction, Ryan. That was extra special. I appreciate that coming from you. I consider you one of my good friends, and that was great. Thank you.
Introductions are easier when you've known someone for 25 years or so.
That is true. That is true. Thanks for having me, guys.
No, it's a pleasure. It's always nice, when we see each other. You rarely get to sit down for like a big chunk and just, reminisce. We did when we were playing on the All-Americans for the 10-man events recently. But sitting down at a night like tonight when you're not like exhausted or having to think about paintball is a little more special to me. So, for everyone who doesn't know you, I would love to get some of your past, like what got you into it. You're obviously an athlete growing up in multiple sports, but what hooked you into paintball originally, and like how did you go from that to being like a local Florida kid playing to ending up on all these legendary teams?
Well, the funny that you say that, because I was just talking to a buddy of mine about this yesterday, the day before. He said, how did you get into paintball? And I said, I was riding home on the school bus. I was in 6th grade. So I was 13 years old or something.
Yeah.
And a kid sitting next to me had a paintball magazine. I was like, what the hell is that? And he's like, oh, check it out. It's a paintball magazine. And I'm like, oh, that looks cool. And he's like, well, we're going to go play this weekend. You want to come? And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm in. It's that simple. It was that quick, that easy. I went home. I said, Mom, let's go. We got to go to the Army Navy store. I need to get the fatigues. Yeah. We had to go to Kmart and get the CO2 cartridges. And then I ended up going.
Who knew you should have just been stocking up on sandanas,
Exactly. Yes,
Could have been
exactly. I don't even want to talk about how much stuff I've thrown away in the past that I regret or give away to everybody, all my kids that I've taught how to play paintball.
Yeah.
But
at least giving it away, it means a little more than getting a little money that you spend right away. So, I've done both. And I definitely still, when you touch people by giving them something, that's a special feeling that you can't really replicate.
Right. So if you want to hear a funny story, I will talk about the first time I played paintball. And not a lot of people know this, but it's a real funny story. So I go out, we go to this guy's house. He gives me a paintball marker. I don't even know. It was like a PGP, if I'm not, PMI1 or PGP or something, right? I can't even remember. That's how long ago it was. And I had no idea what I was doing. No idea. So I had like 20 CO2 cartridges. I'm in camouflage fatigues. So I put like 5 in my left pocket, 5 in my right pocket, 5 in my jacket pocket, my other jacket pocket. And we go to play the game. And I'm like, I'm young, I'm fast. I'm like, oh, this is going to be fun. I'm running all over the woods. People are shooting at me. I'm like, what the hell? I'm running through the woods. I'm flying back and forth all over the place. Right. I'm like, there's no way that they can keep on shooting. And I'm still running. And I'm telling you, I probably ran 5 miles that day. And a guy came up to me by the name of Lance, who turned into one of my best friends after pretty much the day was over. And he's like, man, you're pretty good. I'm like, this was my first time playing. Yeah. I really had no idea what I'm doing. I go, I just want to know how the hell you guys knew where I was all the time. You kept on shooting at me. And he starts laughing, and I'm like, "What?" He goes, "You were like a cow with a bell. All we heard was jingle, 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 jingle all through the woods because all the CO2 cartridges in my pocket were
Yeah.
jingling together, bouncing." I was like, "Oh my god, that was so embarrassing." I was like, "All right." And he goes, "But man, you look like looks like you kind of know what you're doing." I said, "I really have no idea." And he goes, "Well, let's play one-on-one." And I'm like, "What does that mean?" He goes, "I'll go to this tree, you go to that tree, and we'll try to shoot each other." I'm like, "All right." I mean, I grew up shooting one pump BB guns at each other.
For
We tell
sure.
everybody only pump once, but we're like, bam, bam,
Everyone's
get hurt.
cranking them. I used to have
Everybody,
BB stuck in my
right?
skin everywhere, you know.
Exactly. Oh, I had one stuck in my nipple one day. Oh my God, it hurt so bad. So, we're playing. I'm trying to shoot him. He's trying to shoot me, and I run out of paint. And I'm like, what do I do? I had no idea. What do I do?
Yeah.
So he comes running up to me, and he goes, "Take the hit." And he's like, 6 inches from me. And I said, "No." He said, "Take the hit." I said, "No." He said, "Take the hit." I said, "Okay," in the shoe. Because I
Yeah.
had no idea what it meant. And he was out of paint too. He went pop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I had no idea what it meant to take the hit was 40
Yeah.
years ago.
You're like,
30.
well, for
Yeah.
sure, I know that I'm not forfeiting. I don't know what you
Yeah,
mean by this, but
exactly.
I know
Exactly.
that
I'm like,
much.
no, I don't want to give,
Kill me. Kill me.
Yeah.
No, you're a
So
man
that was
after
my
my own
first
heart.
experience, and Lance has turned into one of my best friends. Like, we have done so much. We traveled to Alaska together. We started playing the local tournaments and doing all the fun stuff. Like, literally, we did a 5-man tournament where the center flag was like a big pig,
Oh
a
yeah,
big a
I
big
played on some of
plastic
those too.
pig.
Oh,
I'm
a
like,
plastic pig.
yeah, it was a big plastic pig, right? And
Hit
I'm
the
like, this is
pig.
yeah, exactly. And I'd be the fast guy and run up and grab a pig. So I'd have this big pig while I'm running down the field. It was like, oh, it was so much fun.
It's funny you
But
mentioned about your first time playing though, because I think you can almost tell instantly if someone has the capabilities because it's that fearlessness. It's like the running at people. It's, you have that mentality of not wanting to surrender, not doing any of that. It's just like, no, I want to, like, this is fun. And when people see that instinct, you can't teach. You can teach the one-on-one skills and the snap shooting, but you can't teach the instinct of, having that like fearless mentality.
I agree 100%. You either have it or you don't.
Yeah. And there's
So
few and far between actually. And there's been a lot of successful people that don't have that. But I think it's like one thing that you can see instantly that you can like lean on in people.
yes, I agree. So then I continued to play for fun for a couple of years, went through high school and everything. We'd play like every couple of weeks or whatever. I had a lot of fun. And then I went off to college at the University of Florida. And my buddy Lance is like, "Hey, let's go do a tournament." I'm like, a big tournament. I'm like, "Well, I'm in college. I got so much going on." He goes, "Well, it's up in Jacksonville." So I'm like, "All right, what the heck? It's only Jacksonville from Gainesville was only, a 45-minute drive." So I'm like, "Yeah, I can pull it off. I'll make it happen." So we go up there, and lo and behold, the Jacksonville Warriors were reffing the event. We didn't do that great because it's me and, 4 other guys, but
Yeah.
they saw me and they were like, "Holy shit, this guy's fast, this guy's aggressive," and a guy by the name of Chris Wright came up to me and said, "Hey, how long you been playing paintball?" I said, "Well, I've been playing probably 6 years, 7 years, whatever it's been." But he goes, "Well, how many tournaments have you played?" I said, "Oh, I don't know, a half a dozen, just, out with my buddies, we go play paintball." He goes, "Are you
Yeah.
serious?" And I go, "Yeah." And then and Chris also went to the University of Florida. So we started talking. I'm like, "Oh, you're at UF?" "I'm at UF." He's like, and it turned out, we just started talking. And then he brought over the captain of the team, Ed Head. And older gentleman, great guy. Like, God rest his soul, this guy was a saint. I mean, if you ever met him, you
Yeah, I
probably
don't think
met
I
him.
ever did meet him.
Great guy. He ended up dying of cancer, but he was one of a kind. One of a guy. And he came up to me and he goes, "Who taught you how to play paintball?" "Nobody." He's like, "Are you serious?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Wow." He goes, "Did you ever think about playing pro?" And
Feel
I
like
said,
there's pro people. Like,
"Yeah." I go, "I can't afford to do that." He goes, "You ever thought about playing, on the tournament level or the tournament circuit?" And I said, "No, I can't afford that." He goes, "It's all paid for. It's free." I go, "I'm in."
Sold.
Sign me
And
up.
that's pretty much how it started, you know?
So how old were you then? Do you think by like 18, 19, some, or you said you were in college?
I was 18 years old, and I was like, I'm in. You know, it was like it wasn't even a question to me. It was like I'm like, wait, I don't have to pay for paint, practice paint. And he goes, no, it's all covered. We're fully sponsored, and we take care of everything for you. You just got to figure out how to get there, like buy a plane ticket. I said, well, shit, I can afford that. You know that, yeah, you know.
I mean, that's such a similar story to, like, my starting, because like I couldn't have afforded to do any of that. Like, like my family wasn't poor, but we didn't have like that much expendable income to be doing. So like I got, people can say lucky, but I think it's just like right place at the right time with the right skill
Exactly.
set. And, I was jumped on the opportunity when it, it offered itself. And like one of my friends was kind of in a similar situation. He decided not to do that. But I was like, no, man, I love this. I have the chance to do it for free and see how far I can take it, and see how, like, I'm all self-trained right now. I get to play around the best people. And then, it pushes you more and burns that competitive fire. And it's, I don't think I could live without some level of competition. And being able to have paintball for this long is a blessing.
Well,
right.
I think both of y'all situations, and I've been in, for my life adventures, all the crazy stuff I've gotten to do, right place at the right time. And there's no other way to chalk it up, really, in my opinion, than God just put you there, and it was part of his plan, and you get to go do what you do and excel at it. And it's not only like doing what you love, but I've heard nothing but amazing things about you, Frank.
Thank you.
Between
he must
Ryan,
only listen to me half the time, then.
Fair enough, but from to Ryan, I've heard nothing but great things about you, and God.
And you heard I make great donuts too, right?
You know what? I'm trying to watch my fat figure and tone down, but you know what? I'm gonna splurge just because now. I'm a sucker for donuts. I'm not a big sweets guy. I'm more of a savory type guy, but I do appreciate a good hot donut.
His donuts are fantastic.
Dude,
they're tough for me on like a 90-degree day if I've been playing paintball all day, but like they're delicious.
That's when the frozen lemonade's good, when it's 90 degrees outside. Yeah,
for sure.
So I'm gonna make sure in Cincinnati, hot or not, I'm gonna be rolling up to it. But
I mean, they're just as good as when Krispy Kreme had their light on.
Exactly.
And that.
Oh, I'm down to clown. Let's get after it, dog. But I do want to say, like, God not only puts you in right place in the right time, but it's also to like not only benefit for you, but for everyone else to benefit from where you're at. And I think that's what's so awesome about people's stories, and why I wanted to start this podcast with Ryan, is to bring people's stories to light, because there's so much adventure and joy and happiness and love and just so many amazing things to talk about. So
and in life, you live so many things that sometimes you forget all these things that make you happy too. So it's like sitting down and talking about them just like revitalizes that in your mind, and that's cool.
I agree, and I truly feel, and I bet you there's numerous people that can say this, but I feel paintball pretty much saved my life. I was out of control when I was younger. When I was a kid, my mom was dying of cancer. My dad was there, but he was busy running businesses and stuff, and I was just doing whatever I wanted. And paintball, like, kind of, besides football, which was my other love, paintball kind of like put me down that path where I'm like, it saved me, because it could have got out of hand, definitely. So, but it was the greatest thing that could happen in my life, I think, was it has to be, besides the birth of my girls, but that probably was the best thing that ever happened.
And paintball led into that, because it made your whole life lead up to that point. So,
exactly. I met my first wife through paintball, so there's a lot of things that paintball has done for me. But to go on with my story, Jacksonville Warriors, we played well. We were doing
just real
very
quick
well.
Before you do. So when you got on the team, was most of the team like older guys, and you were like the young guy?
I was the young buck. Yes, everybody was older there. guys like Greg Randall, who's like 70 some years old. He's like the first guy to use the nitrogen system. They were sponsored by Automag, which was really cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I got a free Automag. I was like, oh my God, we were the factory team.
Yeah.
So it was cool because I was getting all the prototype stuff. I was like the first person to shoot the RT. Like they sent me a gun and they're like, here, go practice with this and tell us what you think. But like we couldn't open it, we couldn't do nothing. He had a lock on it on the bottom. Yeah. So I was using it and it cut both of my, because I shoot left-handed and right hand. So it cut both my hands up. I'm like, well, this sucks. It's a great gun. It shoots great, but it definitely hurts because when I got done, my whole hands were bloody.
Dude, I still have scars on my hand in the same spots from the old SFT shockers. The screws would like kind of strip after a while, taking the frames on and off, and they would get sharp. And I have these little X scars on both of my thumbs.
Yeah, so it was really cool playing for that team. But then
I just think that's a dynamic that people don't understand nowadays. Because nowadays, I think teams, vary in age, but it's completely spread apart. and a lot of times people come up through like with friends, know everyone that's playing in the league. But back then it really was like a group of guys and they pick up one, maybe two younger kids to be fast.
Right. Because these guys were like 40 years old, I'm guessing, Larry Veman,
they were probably like 28 back then. Because I remember when I first got on the LAs too, like you guys were all like 40 in my mind, but you guys were like 28,
No, but these guys were definitely older. Like Ed Head was full white hair. Like these guys were definitely older. They had kids my age. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but I think the turning point in my career is like, I was very aggressive. I just wanted to go kill people. And it came down to World Cup. And started off in the 5-man, made it to the finals, played the All-Americans, the team that never lost a 5-man.
I was just talking to Hans about that. I was like, why were you guys always good at 5-man and horrible at 10-man? He's like, well, we just didn't have the depth.
Yeah. So, like, I shot 4 of them in that game. We ended up winning World Cup. And that kind of catapulted my career. And it was like, holy
And like the 5-man back then, much like the 3-man now, like a lot of the good teams played, not everyone, but you had Shock playing everyone. You had All-Americans playing. You had plenty of good high, like, top 4 pro teams playing.
Right.
That 5-man as well. So that's a huge win.
Right. It was big because, All-Americans never lost the World Cup, if I remember. Never lose the 5-man. And then, so that we kind of dethroned the champions and it was like, oh, wow. And then everybody said, okay, who's this guy? And that kind of was like my team knew who I was because I was the one shooting everybody. But then everybody else started to recognize who I was. And then that's when I made the jump to the All-Americans because Adam's like, okay, you can't shoot me anymore. You're going to come play with me. So
speaking of the All-Americans, so 2001 Chicago, you played with them that event, right? Or no, when they won?
We won, yeah. I was just coming off an ACL injury.
Was it LA the next year you were playing with Jacksonville? It was like the LA the year before you were playing with the Warriors still? Or the LA the year after?
So we had a falling, it was the following year that I ended up. So long story short.
Well, before that, I was just going to tell you my favorite moment watching the All-Americans in a tournament that they won was on the Diamond Field in Chicago, the tournament you guys won.
Yep.
When Adam tripped and like 8 people fell on top of him, everyone got shot off the break except for him. And it was maybe the most entertaining game I had ever seen.
Oh my gosh.
So you say that did happen, but there was a game. So I'll tell you the story on that one. We're in Chicago. We happened to win the event, but we're in Chicago.
Oh, and that's not something that Rennick would normally allow with Aftershock.
Exactly.
So I heard them talking after that. They're like, don't ever let the All-Americans win. I'll cut you off.
It was hard to win in Chicago. Ground Zero was going to make the finals there because, Aftershock was always making the finals in World Cup.
Yep.
So we're in Chicago and Adam, the mathematician that he is, knew, hey, for us to go into the semis, because we weren't playing that good. Mm-hmm. For us to go into the semis, we had to shoot 9 guys. And we're playing Bob's Ironman. Okay?
Yeah, it's essentially a win. It's like
No,
I know it's not, but if you can shoot 9 guys, I'm just saying, like, that's
right. Yeah,
in,
you
it's like
essentially
you
have to
can't.
win the game, right?
Yeah.
So the game starts. My whole team gets demolished. Like, we didn't shoot a guy.
Mhm.
It came down to myself, and I can't. It's either Mark or Spesh. I can't remember which one, and I feel bad that I can't remember. But it was like 2-on-10.
On what field was this?
This was on the sup airball field that they built to the right side of the
ladder field, like that
Yeah.
side, like right above the PMI field that they had.
Right. Yep. No, not the one that goes this way. It was the one that was going this way. It was going the same way as the diamond field.
Yeah.
Right. So we go out and we got smoked. And I was like, holy shit. I'm looking, everybody's walking off, and it's me and Spesh or Mark. I think it was Mark. Could have been Spesh. I don't know. And then it was like 10-on-2.
They'll tell it. They're gonna be like, it was a 3-on-10. That's what it was.
No. There was a 10-on-2, then like a 9-on-2, then an 8-on-2, and then it was an 8-on-1 because the person died. So it's me on 8 guys. Well, they were like, okay, we taste blood. They just started running down the field, and I just started shooting them left and right, left and right, left and right, left and right. It came down to a 1-on-1, me versus Kevin, the black Kevin. I can't remember his name. Yeah, right? Kevin Jones. Right? I shoot him. He has a beanie cap on. I shoot him dead in the forehead. Right? He shoots me. Bruno is the head ref on the field. Right? So I didn't argue. He's got a big hit on his head. I'm like, all right, that's all of them. I know that's all of them. Right?
Yeah.
And but they called him alive. They let him grab the field or grab the flag and run back. And I'm walking off to the dead box, and everybody's discouraged. And I'm like, why is everybody pissed? They're like, we're going home. I go, no, I shot them all.
Yeah.
They're like, there's no way. And I go,
were they not watching?
Well, it was behind. It was literally a big piece of wood.
Yeah.
So maybe, they had no idea who was left, who wasn't left, right? They thought maybe there were some guys in the back.
Yeah.
But I knew it came down to a 1-on-1, and I knew I shot him.
Yeah. And you knew you only had to shoot 9.
So right, exactly. But right. And then Adam's like, you shot everyone? I said, yeah, I even shot Kevin, and they let him grab the flag and hang it. He has a big hit on the center of his forehead. So Adam goes out there, they're all, Adam's like, goes running up to Bruno and goes, I want to know what the ruling is. And Bruno goes, 9 kills for the All-Americans, 10 kills, pull and hang for the Ironman. And Adam goes, okay, thank you. And turns around and walks away because he knew that's all we needed.
Yeah. Like normally Adam would argue that to his death.
Exactly.
Out there yelling about
it. Right? And then we ended up winning the tournament.
Something I appreciate about Adam to this day is like he calls me after practices, wants to know how the team's doing. He'll call me if we're like borderline to get in and be like, "Hey, make sure that they look at the rule 15.33." Exactly. I was like, "I know, Adam. I know it's that got changed this year." To have like someone in your corner that cares that much, even when he didn't come around paintball as much, and people don't realize how much he cares.
He's one of the most amazing people in the world. One of my good friends.
And what I like about him, the more I've gotten to spend time with him on the podcast, at the booth, whatever it may be, like for him, life is about the nuances. It's little things that I think.
Oh, he's got a dry, petty sense of humor for sure.
It's not what I was talking about, but that is a fact. But no, Adam, I really enjoy. It's the nuances, the little things, like finding little things that may give you the edge and may push something forward, whether it's you playing a certain ruling or whatever it may be. I've grown to really like that about him.
I love Adam. The only thing I hate about Adam, we'd go into a 10-man paintball game. He would shoot 10 shots. He'd probably get 2 or 3 kills, but he would shoot 10 paintballs. Yeah. I'm like, what the hell?
He wasn't talking a ton. He wasn't talking. He was so happy a couple years ago. I gave him a 3-pack that I still had. He was like, oh, this is perfect. I have all this extra paint in case someone else needs it.
No. Yeah. This isn't the pump days, Adam. Like, lay it out.
Adam had a good shot. You know, people always say this person has a good shot, this person has a good shot. I think it's kind of like it matters just a little bit, but like everyone has a pretty good shot, and you're not really shooting like that, right?
Right.
So when people say that, I take it with a grain of salt. But Adam's one of those guys where no, he wasn't wasting much. You know, he'd crawl into a snake with no beams, no nothing. You know, pop his head up, take his 2 shots, hit someone,
Get down. Yeah, exactly.
He played
Sneaky.
like that his whole career.
So
Right.
I do want to ask you, Frank.
Yeah, guys, go away.
I'm sorry to date you. What year did you start playing paintball?
All right, I was born in 74, so that would be 1986, 1987, 86, 87, somewhere in there. I was 12, 13 years old. I don't know the exact time, but that's
so
where I
in
was.
the beginning.
In the beginning, pretty much.
And you've gotten and I love that. I really love that because like I mean, what I love about it is like you've gotten to see how paintball has literally evolved since the beginning. And I find that
it's pretty much the entire time, you know.
Yeah.
And
and
that's
play tournaments and go through it all. And I love that. Not many people get to experience that. And you know, I really find that just amazing, and I appreciate that. So I just had to ask.
I think it's one of the underrated thing about a lot of players today is how long we've played. You know, whether you're talking about the guys, Thomas Taylor, even like the second generation guys, like a Chad George, like not second generation, but like in this current format, it's like, well, he's been pro for probably 17 years now. That's crazy. Like when you consider lengths of pro careers, and there wasn't many people from when you like, you know, got on a pro team that had long careers like that. And you did, like you played, you know, 7-man.
I mean, I think I contribute that a lot to Adam. I contribute a lot to Billy. I mean, so, you know, I graduated from college, and Adam, like I told him, I may have to stop playing paintball. I got to go live my life. I got to go get a job. And they're like, oh no, you're not. You're going to move up to Latrobe, work at Smart Parts, and play paintball and travel the world. I was like, sounds like a good plan to me. And
so you did it?
So I did it. Yep. And Billy would pull me out of work and say, come on, let's go play one-on-ones. And I would destroy him for like 2 hours, play one-on-ones. He would shoot me one. I would shoot him about 300 times. And he, you know, it was great. And then like Adam and Billy would go play 2-on-ones against me, you know, on the weekend. And I would shoot the shit out of them 2-on-1. They're like, what the hell? I'm like, you guys don't know how to shoot left-handed. You know, so I literally had to teach most of the team how to shoot left-handed because I'm ambidextrous. So it's natural for me to shoot left, natural for me to shoot right.
It really wasn't like people weren't shooting left-handed or off-handed consistently until the early 2000s, like 2000, 2001 is when people really started to.
Yep.
So I have a question for you, Frank. You left-hand dominant or right-hand dominant?
I'm ambidextrous. I write with my right.
Yep.
I throw with my left. I play golf left-handed. I bat left-handed. I bat right-handed.
You're like me, but vice versa. I'm a southpaw, but I do many things right-handed.
Exactly.
So
as you see, I grab a drink. I grab it with my right hand instead of my left hand. So it's weird.
Yeah.
You know, my power is my left arm, though.
You're not like true ambidextrous where both are equal, but you're true ambidextrous where it's a coin flip of what you do that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So, no, I just had to ask because there's not many southpaws. So I was like, oh, are you another southpaw?
True south. You know, I wish I was a true southpaw, but
you would have played baseball.
What?
You would have been a baseball player then.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I throw left-handed, but I can bat left or right. But like anything with you know, like writing, it has to be right-handed. My left hand is, you know,
that's how I am with throwing things is left-handed. Yeah. Like you might, like I can shoot left-handed, obviously, like guns, real guns, paintball guns, whatever. But man, I try to throw something left-handed. You might as well put me in the Special Olympics to get last place. I'm not even joking. I can't do it. Like it was like watching my daughter throw when she was 1 year old. You know, just it's going backwards up in the air.
But what's funny is like bat right-handed, throw right-handed, right left-handed, shoot left-handed. It's
shooting left-handed sucks for most accessories.
Well, dude, no. So what's crazy? Like, so for hunting and all the stuff I've done, I've never owned like a left-handed gun ever in my life. Like, and everyone's like, doesn't that just eat you up? And I'm like, I've never had an issue. I because they charge more for a left-handed gun.
You learn the one on a right-handed gun, obviously.
So when I'm actually shooting like a bolt-action rifle, so I shoot, but so I still hold grip. I reach across and over and rotate and roll it, and then I'm back on the trigger. But
Gotcha.
it's like it's fast, but just because of the practice and the time and just, you know, spending the hours on the range actually doing it, it's weird as crap when people watch it. But you know what's a great, because I'm a southpaw, I noticed it. But in Saving Private Ryan Jackson, the sniper, you know,
Did the same thing. Yeah.
he's
in
a
the
southpaw too.
Yeah.
And he's reaching across and rechambering the same way. And I'm like, oh, that's like me, you know?
So I'll give you guys, and a lot of people don't know this, but this is like so advanced. And I never hear anybody talking about this nowadays.
Lay it on me.
Is that left-handed and right-handing is very important, but it's also training your eyes. And
Yep.
people don't even like, so most people, they're one eye dominant and they're mostly right eye dominant. I am not. So if you look at someone shooting, if they're right-handed, they're like this and they're looking down they're looking down with their right eye. Right? And then if they put it in their left hand, they put their head all the way out and they're still looking down their right eye.
Yeah.
If you can train yourself to look down your left eye and look down your right eye when you're shooting, it's so much better. And that, for me, it was never an issue. I was always left eye, right eye.
Yeah.
And I didn't have, so I was always tight. And
that is something, like, I would say, like, things like that are normally like hard to train, or you can't train, but like that is something I had to train myself on, because like I'm right eye dominant. Like if I do the finger test, like I'll always be
right
on the right eye.
Yeah, when you point it, you close one eye, you close.
I was always taught the triangle, and you look through the hole, and whatever stays the same when you close an eye is both eyes open. Yeah. No, when you hold it like that, and whatever stays the same with both eyes open and you close, that's your dominant. But
that's your dominant.
Same trick.
Yeah, no, it is. And no, it is. I'm just saying different tricks. But
yeah, I do.
No.
So I had to learn how to do that. In paintball, like I can focus either way. Shooting something, I can focus either way. But that is something I had to like forcefully learn to do, because naturally it wasn't like that.
Yeah, it's a skill, and it takes time to learn it.
And I have a hilarious story about like teaching someone that, right? So I was doing a clinic in Australia in 2005. And this dude was out the right side, but he was like leaning his head so far out. And I was like, hey, you got to like do this. Make sure you're focused on with your right eye. He's like, well, I'm completely blind in my right eye. I can only see out of my left eye. I was like, oh, you're doing an excellent job.
Okay, you make sure you look out your left every time, buddy.
Yeah. The next day he had like a sticker over that on his lens. I was like, oh.
So with firearms, Ryan, you know how much time I've spent behind a gun. Real gun. You know what's funny is pistols, optics, like I shoot scoped rifles, shotguns, pistols, whether on my pistols I have a red dot or irons, I shoot both eyes open nonstop. Reason is because behind a gun, like tactically, you need to be both eyes open, running peripheral to be catching anything going on.
That's what my dad taught me when I was probably 5, you know?
Yep.
Well, crazy. So you're aiming down, right? Like you're aiming down sight. Like if you look, like I'm left eye dominant. So if I'm shouldered left or holding a pistol left, you tilt your head sideways a little bit. And then when you do that, what you do is you still have your peripheral available from left to right, but your brain focuses off the way you're tilting. So like playing paintball, like I'm not having to like, I never really try and counter that, but because of all the training I've had in my past, I'm making sure my brain's only focused on one side and just seeing what's over here.
And your eyes and your brain are playing tricks on you constantly anyway. So
yeah,
if you understand that, you can learn to like,
and that's good. You don't get tunnel vision too, so that's good. You got to pay attention to your surroundings.
With my daughter's yelling. I'll be right back.
Not a problem.
You're good. So I do want to dive in to obviously you are an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Don't roll your eyes at me. You go to a paintball event, you see everybody holding the Dilly Donuts
Bucket, yeah.
you know. And usually I'm in the pits with Ryan, and I'm just like, I can't do that right now because it's like heavy load and it's hot and I'm hot. And so I just try, I'm always focusing. So that's main reason why I haven't yet, right? Poor excuse. But like, what inspired you to do that? And I do want to also ask, after you answer that question, do you operate any other businesses, or is Dilly?
Okay, so just to give you guys a little rundown, Ryan
Yeah.
probably knows a lot of this.
Who would ever
I've
guess I'd have a
always-
night owl, you know?
Yeah. I've been an entrepreneur pretty much my whole life from the time I left Smart Parts. I opened up a paintball store, a paintball field. I had the largest paintball field in the state of Florida, 92 acres right off of 95 in Titusville.
What?
Yeah. So I've done a lot in my career. I ended up moving from that to a paintball distributorship. I ended up becoming the sales manager for ProCaps Direct. Did that for
You're only telling your paintball related things because somewhere in there you
I'm moving on. Yeah,
business.
right.
Give him a second.
when I'm the sales manager, PayPal Direct, got a bunch of money. I end up buying a tanning salon. I redid a whole tanning salon. I ended up selling that for a huge profit after owning it for a couple years. Ended up getting married to my second ex-wife, opened 3 day spas in Daytona Beach.
Yeah.
I've done so many different things.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then just one day I saw this donut thing and I was intrigued by it. And I'm like, I want to do this. And I ended up building Dilly Donuts 9 years ago. There's 9 franchises around the US right now. I own a roofing company. I own a roofing company right now also. So there's just so much that I do. I'm that person that doesn't stop, won't stop, just keeps on going. But yeah, the donut thing.
You've always been like really successful with all of them. It seems like you know when to get in and when to get out of a situation.
Right, exactly. But the donut thing is like a passion. I have so much fun doing it. It's hard work. Don't get me wrong. It's hard work.
Yeah.
Especially when you're at World Cup and I'm the first one on site at World Cup at 4:30 in the morning, making sure coffee's ready and the donuts are getting made and everything's getting heated up. And I'm usually the last one to leave at 7, 8 o'clock at night, cleaning up, doing everything. But it's just the enjoyment that I get when I hand the people the bucket of donuts and they take it and they're like, holy shit, what did I just eat? Excuse my French. They're like, wow. That's, they're like, wow, that's amazing. So, I always talk to like, now everybody's had them in paintball, but like I'll go somewhere, I'm like, oh, you never tried them? And I'm like, you have to try one right in front of me. And the reaction is just their eyes light up and they're like,
people slinging those buckets everywhere with them. Totally.
Yeah, it's great. It's great advertising. It really is, because it's like when people see that, they're like, oh, I got to go get donuts, because if it's in a little something, they can't see it. They don't even pay attention to it. But when they got this big bucket going around, they're like, I got to go get donuts.
Advertisement like that's so priceless. Like for years, I've tried to convince Adam to just like make, lime green freak ponchos. It rains, every other event we're at, people need something.
Well, we know Adam and his marketing skills are not that good. Trust
crazy
me.
because he's got his master's in marketing too. That's
I'm like, we love him, but
killing me here, dude.
I trust me. We've had plenty of conversations, Adam and I.
Oh yeah, I know you have, and I have as well. So.
Yes.
So I do want to ask you, because in my very near future, I am about to branch off, start a business.
Should I answer this?
Yeah.
Sure. Answer that shit. Go.
Yo, I'm in the middle of a podcast right now that you're interrupting. I'm with Ryan and Hal right now.
I know he's
say hi to everybody.
Turn around.
He's usually pooping when he FaceTimes me.
Hey, look around. When they want to say hi to you, Will you get in the picture? What are you
Yeah,
doing?
yeah. Why are you always?
Yeah, what the hell, dude?
There he is.
Yeah!
Shut up. I just got a Tesla today. So, man, that thing is amazing.
Oh,
What'd you
nice,
get?
Yeah.
dude.
I got the Model Y.
Those
with
are
the self-drive. I've already
yeah.
driven it like 200 miles and I haven't even touched the gas.
Yeah.
It's done it all. It's crazy. All
But
right.
people
I
always
love you,
like-
bro. I'll call you later. Bye.
People always want to say you want this out of a car, you want that out of a car. No, I want a car that drives me around, that's not super loud, that's really comfortable.
I was on my phone the whole time. It was
Yeah,
like, this is crazy, you know? So it's
Pennsylvania-
crazy. I get
Pennsylvania-
yelled at whenever I'm in the car with someone. They're like, get off your phone. Get off your phone. You need to pay attention. You're going to kill us. And I'm like, all right. So I got a Tesla now. I can't kill anybody.
Like I didn't kill anyone before, but I will definitely not now. So
Well, we won't go there.
yeah. I mean while looking at a phone.
Yeah, right. I wasn't looking at a phone. That is correct. I was not looking at a phone.
Not on accident.
Exactly. Yes. Hal's like, what the hell are you talking about?
No, I get it.
Yeah.
Brian's like, no, Hal gets it.
Yeah. Okay.
Just me not. I was like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
But no, I do want to ask you, as someone, you know, I'm not worried about it. I work really hard. I work anywhere from 60 to 80 hours a week, multiple jobs, doing what I do. You know, I just grind. I have to hustle. But you know, the wife and I are about to move down to the Texas coast, and we're really excited. Yeah, no, we're over the snow. I wake up at 3 a.m. in the wintertime by a phone call, and I go plow snow.
Are you in Pittsburgh? Where are you?
I'm in Colorado.
Oh God. Okay.
In the Rocky Mountains.
You know what? Colorado though is beautiful in the summer.
It is, but
yeah,
spring and summer is pretty nice there.
But I get 3 months of summer for 9 months of winter, and I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't give a shit if I ever see snow again in my life.
I agree. You know what? I'm good to go once every 2 or 3 years for 3 days to go skiing, and then that's it. I don't ever want to see it again.
Yeah, I got friends now. I'm like, I'm going to come up, crash, and my buddy runs the whole media department of Winter Park Resort. So I can be like, yo, float me a pass. I'm coming for a week. And my buddy Carl be like, done.
It's like $1,000 these days, you know?
$1,000 if you do a week without a season pass. If you buy individual days,
4 days are like $700 now, which is absurd.
Yeah, $250 a day is like going to Disney.
Yeah,
like to exert all that energy to go skiing. You're telling me I gotta pay that much? Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta work for this and pay you this. Like, no.
So, be that much though.
But so I'm gonna move down. I'm gonna start my own handyman outdoor like business. And eventually my end goal is 2 to 3 years, have a crew, whether it's small or large, right? To be able to run it. And then I want to go guiding fishing full time. I'm not worried about guiding fishing. That's easy.
You've had other experience guiding and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, you know, I'm not worried about that. But like the handyman service, you know, it's going to be like building garden beds, which I've done. We used to have a 1 acre garden in Texas where I grew up. You know, it's going to be mowing lawns, which I've done plenty of. All my other jobs in previous life on ranches and farms, I've fertilized, mowed, like done all this stuff. I know how to do it. But it's like, what is your best advice? And this is for anyone that could be watching too. When you go to start a business, what's the best advice you got in your pocket? Because you are an entrepreneur. So.
Yes. One of the biggest things I can tell you is don't give up. Because in the beginning, it's super hard and you're going to get discouraged. You're going to be like, this isn't working. This isn't working. This isn't working. Just keep at it. Just stay focused. Get up every day and know that you have a job that you have to do. And you'll be successful if you have the determination to do it. You will be successful. At least that's the way I looked at it. I said to myself, no matter how hard it is every day, I get up, I do what I have to do, and it'll happen. And that's
Yeah.
it's so
I
yeah.
got a little piece of advice for you too. For that
Okay.
shiny ass skin, 100 SPF.
Bro, you
Yeah.
see this? I'm peeling. I've been picking this shit. You know what
You're
I did?
peeling in
I went and
Denver,
rode
son, dude.
horses last weekend. Bro, I burned like a freight train. Look at my tan lines.
Well,
on this
I can
shit.
hardly ever tell because you're always just that plum red, you know.
That's funny. So I'll tell you a story about skiing. You guys are like this. About 5 or
Send it.
6 years ago, Spesh got together a little. Spesh Robinson, good friend of mine, played. Everybody knows Spesh.
I know his
He's like,
daddy moved away. He's not a Pittsburgh boy anymore.
I
You know?
know, yeah, he's in South Carolina now. But he's like, hey, because like it was like Mark's birthday's right around my birthday. Everything. He's like, let's celebrate. But it was like we want to do a ski trip. So we're like, let's get together and we'll do a ski trip. So we went. I don't even know where we went. We went somewhere, but Todd and Tammy Adamson came. Mark Bolitnikoff, Spesh. There was a bunch of us, and they're like,
It's a motley crew.
yeah, we had a lot of fun. And they're like, Frank, do you know how to ski? And I go, yeah, I'm a very, very good skier. And they're like, there's no way, right? So I'm like, all right, whatever. So we started to go skiing. And Todd and Tammy never skied. They're Florida. I'm from Florida too, mostly,
Yeah.
And I'm skiing backwards. I'm doing jumps. And they're like, what the fuck just happened? They had no clue. I'm going down the hill just backwards skiing with them, teaching them how to ski, and they're like, holy shit.
They're just
So
falling over,
Mark and I
shivering.
go down. Yeah, Mark and I go down a good run. We come to the end, there's a big jump. I take the jump, no problem. He takes the jump and just boom. He was done for the rest of the trip. I felt so bad for him. I was like, oh my God.
You can take some
But I
gnarly
love those
spiffs when
guys.
skiing or snowboarding.
So-
Like I hit a tree once and I was like, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to walk again.
So I'll tell you this. So I moved. I don't even know if you know this, Ryan. So I moved to Winter Park, Colorado.
Oh, okay. There's a Winter Park, Florida. I was like, Florida?
No, my brother, no. Although I would ball. But so I moved, so I got rehabilitated off a injury. I had a spiral fracture in my leg. Actually, let's see if I can find it. So I had a spiral fracture, and I ended up. I'm trying to find the medal. It's in the drawer
Just
right
sounds like
below
you're
me
banging
somewhere.
around.
I know I'm banging around and shit, but fuck it.
It's in your leg. The medal's still in your leg.
No, you actually
No,
got
I
removed.
just got it removed
Are you
last.
serious?
Yeah, last May. That's why I was trying to find it. It's actually super fucking. There it is. So, yeah.
Wow, they pulled that out. Why didn't they leave it in? It was just
He was having some issues with it.
Oh no, it
Oh.
wasn't some. I was having major issues. A nerve was running over the top of the whole plate. Like that was, yeah, there it is.
So what did they do? Did they
So I
install
had a
new
nerve running over. No, they took it out. They actually, if you can see, a bunch of these screws broke off in my leg.
So you still got some metal left in you, you know.
Yeah, no, I have screws without heads.
Yeah.
Old wakeboarding injury.
I don't think anyone
It
here doesn't
retired
have
me.
a little metal in them.
But what was crazy was I spiral fractured my leg when I was wakeboarding. It retired me professionally. I was 6 months non-weight bearing. It was that bad. Yeah, it was awful. And then I got rehabilitated. They were like, hey, you're good to go, brother. I said, all right, cool. And I was like, it was rolling into the wintertime. I had like no plans. I was like, do I just go back to the grind? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I'm going to go spend a winter because I always grew up skiing. And I grew up in Texas. So what was fun was I applied for Winter Park as a ski instructor, ended up moving up here, didn't have a place to live. That's a whole nother story. We won't get into that. Came up here, found a place to live on the way up here. complete shithole. But anyways, so I ended up, and I'm not tooting my own horn. Ryan knows I'm someone that's very modest in what I've done in my life. But I am. Fuck you for laughing, you bitch. Listen, motherfucker. You try to drag it out of me of shit I've done. Like, get fucked, nerd. Anyways,
Didn't even say anything.
I ended up, yeah, you laughed, motherfucker. I know what that laugh is. Anyways.
All right, I guess this is an X-rated show. I guess it's not
Can
G-rated.
Can be. It can be whatever.
Can be. Depends
Gotcha.
on how Ryan spices me up.
I get him
Sorry.
angry sometimes. I'm usually pretty behaved.
50-50.
As you've always known me, right, Frank?
Yes.
But so anyways, what was crazy was I ended up becoming a very experienced ski instructor. Craziest lesson I ever taught. I sent a 5-year-old who I taught since 3, and I put him down a double black diamond his first run. As 5-year-old.
there wasn't moguls.
First run. No, double black. Like when he was 5, he just turned 5. He was like, his whole goal when I started teaching him, he's like, I want to ski double blacks. It was a big deal. This head wall was like this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
You're just pushing a toddler off of Corbett's.
Yeah.
dude, I was like,
But those
I was
guys,
like,
they have no fear. They're this big. They're
That
right on.
is
They're
true.
this close to the ground. They just go boom. You know.
Yeah. Well, the bones are malleable.
Well,
you know, like
yeah.
they can take some.
what's crazy was it was like 250 yards of vertical. And I'm like, dear God, I'm like, I hope this kid like just stands up the whole time. All you got to do is stand up. So I was a ski instructor for 5-6 years. It was a wild time. So
Yeah, I feel lucky to have learned in Pennsylvania because our mountains are much shorter,
Yes.
but covered in ice. So it's like
Yeah,
if you
it's
can do it
difficult.
well here, you go out
You can
the
do
west, and
powdered.
it's like,
Yeah, it's
oh, this
great.
is so easy. Like the double blacks.
One of the
there.
best. Yeah, one of the best places I ever skied was in Whistler, out in
Yeah,
Canada.
Oh.
And
that's nice.
I will tell you,
balls.
I went out there and one of my buddies was like, let's go to the top. I'm like, all right, so it's a lift, then a lift, then a lift, then a lift,
Yep.
then a lift. It's like, holy cow. So we finally get to the top and I'm like, wow, I can barely breathe up here. And we're going and it's just flat. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. And I see these little hedges. I'm like, I'm so lost. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I go, what are these bushes doing here? He goes, those are tops of 80-foot feet trees. You know, the tip of the trees
so
are popping
cool
out of the
like that.
snow. And I was like, it dawned on me like, holy shit, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of
So
snow.
he's like, are you ready? And I'm like, yeah, where are we going? He goes, I'm like, so I go to I go and I'm like, you can't see anything. And I'm looking over and I'm looking and I got the tip of my skis over and I'm getting closer. And like, literally I'm about to fall over the cliff and I still can't see where I'm going.
Yep.
And he's just like,
I don't like
dig
that.
and go. And I was like, but the powder was so amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, that was the best skiing I've ever did in my life. And I skied where no one skied for a month. You know, it was like, wow.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It's amazing.
You gotta have no fear. You have to have no fear because there's no way. There are people that would be like, yeah, there's no way.
One of my favorite snowboarding trips we did, we used to stay from like the 2 weekends before practice through the event when the team first started. We're out in California. We had a few days off, so I was like, oh, my buddy has this place, ski in, ski out in Mammoth. I can get you guys tickets. You guys can go up there. And Mama D's like, the tournament's in like 7 days. Why would you want them to go?
Yeah. Are you sure we want to do this?
He's like, I got it. I got them all set up for it. So like Mishka, Fedorov, Sergey, me, and Chad all went. We got pulled over, going like 99 and 55 going up there. Mishka was driving. Super long straightaway.
No license. Sorry, Russia. No license.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The cop comes up and he's like, "Hey, give me your license." And I'm no have. He's like, okay, you're going to jail. He's like, no, I'm Mav. It's, back there. And he hands him this like crazy
Russian license.
bullshit fake Russian license, right? And the guy's like, no, do you have a passport? He's like, no. He's like, okay, get out. You're going to jail. He's like, no, I'm Mav. It's in back. It's in back. He can pull it out. The guy's like, listen, you guys could all be dead. Like, you shouldn't be going this fast. He's like, if you were going 1 mile an hour over this, luckily the truck we drove in had a restrictor on it. So, we were capped 1 mile an hour over. He's like, I'd be impounding this, wouldn't let you go. So
wow.
I don't even know what Mishka ended up having to pay for that, but we got let out. We go up to Mammoth. They had just got done getting like dumped on. They got like 20 feet of snow in like a couple of weeks. So they were having to truck it all out. So you're driving in on the roads and it's 20, 30 feet of snow that you can't see anything, but they're just trucking it out. We were on the second floor of the ski in ski out place and the snow was past our railing.
The window you could,
so we could see it, but like halfway between. Same thing as you, like you're at the top, the tips of trees. You're going over tips of trees like this big. Yes. Just ginormous trees.
It's insane.
Every run we'd go on, we'd be like on the lifts or the gondola going up. We'd be like, okay, Mishka, we're going to go off the lift, go right, meet here. He goes, okay. And he goes left. Get off so fast, and go right and just hit left so fast. We're meet at the top. The first run we went down, he disappeared. We see him like 2 hours later. He's like, IMC, whole mountain. I'm go this way, I'm go this way. So
that sounds like Mishka.
Oh, to this day, all the time.
I love him. He's such
like
a good
Mishka.
guy.
I'm go right. Ryan right, not Mishka right.
If you think it's right. Go the other way.
Yeah, Mishka's he's a top 3 favorite Russian for me.
I love Mishka.
Mishka's definitely there. I like Malloy's dad, Dmitry. Longtime Philly fan himself and excellent Russian sniper for a long time. Like he's one of my favorite. And I'll withhold my third spot because there's a lot of good Russians, but those 2 top 3 for sure.
So I got 2 wild stories.
Okay.
Fastest I've ever gone on skis was 86.4 miles an hour. It was recorded. So I have a pair of GS double decks. They're made by Atomic.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on a blue run. And this blue run, so as a ski instructor, they'd let you go out and say, hey, I'm going to go do a clinic. And you get first run of the mountain, groomer, powder days, whatever it may be, right? Mm-hmm. So that day I was like, I'm not going to go with the clinic. I was like, screw that. I was like, I'm going to go bomb shit. I was like, I'm going to go mob the mountain and have a good time. And I had speakers, this is when they still make them, but speakers that were built into the ear pads. And I was cruising. So the more you turn in GS skis, because I have reinforced vibration dampeners, so they're stiffeners basically, and the more you turn, the higher speed you gain because the stiffer your ski is. And what was funny was I was mobbing and I was like, no fear, send it as fast as I can, doing these huge like GS turns, building speed. And the clinic was on the top side of the roller. And I had my app on that day. I was like, I just want to check my average speed, right? And so there's this app that would check
Such
your...
a slave to numbers.
I am. I love numbers. I do. Anyways.
I'm just like, ooh, that gave me goosebumps. This is gnarly.
And so I was hooking these turns, and then there's this roller off of a blue, and that they said I went somewhere between like 70 to 100 feet off this roller when I sent it. And I just sent it off of it. Straight, pointed, all this speed built up. And then I cruised the bottom. Well, Ski Patrol was with them. And then the clinic, the chick that was running the clinic, who was like one of the head instructors, supervisors. They ski down to me. She's pissed. She's yelling at me. She's like, how fast were you going? I said, I don't know. I was tracking it. Hold on. And I pull it up. And I was like, 86.4 was my top speed. She was like,
God.
bro, never again. And I was like, no, more. I was like, more. And then, anyways, the next story, I taught a lot of higher levels. Like I taught a lot of all mountain because I went and got certifications to teach kids how to ski at a very high level. So what was super fun was I would take them in black diamond trees, double blacks, teach them moguls, all this and that. I loved it. There wasn't a day of work, you know. I just got to have fun and like spread the knowledge.
And I used to get kicked out of ski resorts all the time.
Oh, so just go ahead.
My wife now, like just a friend at the time, used to live at the top of a local resort. So we'd always go in the middle of the night when it was closed, just like have a car at the bottom, drive to the top, just bomb them, right? And they'd be making snow. We'd be jumping over all the wires and stuff so many times. Every night we'd be getting chased by snowmobiles, getting caught. They're like, give us your passport. We don't have a pass. Well, what's your name? I'm not telling you my name.
I don't have a name.
Give me your parents' number. No, I'll just sit here. We'll just wait this out.
That's funny.
So what was crazy at Winter Park, there might be one blue run under the ski lift. The rest is all black, and it's trees, like tight, steep pine tree runs. And it's amazing. It's called Eagle Wind. Anyways, I do a lot of coaching inside of those trees. Anyways, we got pounded with snow. And I told these kids, I was teaching a group of 7 to 14-year-old kids how to ski steep trees. And I was like, hey, we got a lot of snow. Stay away from, like, do not get close to the tree base. I was like, tree wells are real. They can kill you. You can fall into a bottomless pit. These kids were like, oh, yeah. This one kid hooked it. And luckily, I had taught my students, I was like, hey, if someone falls, you need to relay down the line that someone fell. So we stopped. So anyways, my kids relayed to the front where I'm at. And I was like, oh, shit. So I'm having to step back up the hill, trying to get up. This kid is face down in a tree well. And I was like, this kid's going to drown. I was like, dear Lord. So I was like trying to dig out. And it was 4 feet of snow where I was unburying this kid's face. Wild. And this kid's like, I can breathe. I was like, cool. I was like, take a few deep breaths. Let's hang out.
It's scary when you get stuck in snow like that. And you
because when you get buried like that and you're inverted, like you can't move.
No.
And so anyways, I got that. Yeah, and I got this kid out.
Kids are fearless, though.
They are. Until you put the fear of God in them.
But that's why we should do our best to not, raise fearful kids, because it's us who puts fear, and like there has to be some respect for things, but like that fearlessness is like a superpower.
It is.
Oh, it is.
Life lesson.
I'll tell you this story. My daughter, and I had my first wife, and my daughter, I think she was 4 or 5 years old. First time ever skiing. She was great. She just go. So we're like, all right, let's all go up. There was like a group of us. Let's all go up, young kids and everything. Let's all go up. And we went up on the lift and started doing runs. And then we went from like we had to go, I guess, on a blue or green and then to a blue, but there was one that was a little bit harder. And we're like, all right, we'll stay on top on the ledge, let the kids go down. And then in case they fall, we'll go pick them up. So no problem. We're just sitting there bullshitting. The adults are talking. All of a sudden, my wife screams at the top of her lung, Frank, Haley. And that was my daughter, Haley. And I look, and she's literally just going straight towards the cliff. I was like, because she's just going. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God. I straight dug and just was fast as I could, got down as fast as I could, literally grabbed her, slid. My skis literally were off the cliff, and I pushed her off to the side. Like she was going off the cliff, and I was
That's
like,
crazy.
it was like ridiculous. I
She was
like,
probably just
holy
laughing.
yeah, she had no idea. She's like, yeah. I was like, oh my God. Like it was crazy.
That was a long ski tangent. I liked it.
Yeah, yeah. Let's get back on
Sorry,
paintball.
that was my fault.
It's okay.
Luckily, we're the rowdy ones, and
We talk
it's
about everything.
acceptable.
Yeah,
That's it.
Right.
For
But
sure.
All right, so
let's rein it back in. Sorry.
yeah, where were we? So
Well,
after
we skipped around a little bit, you know.
Yeah,
so
we were
talked
back in
about.
I know you asked me the
beginning of
question.
paintball.
No, he got to the point where he was talking about, you know, the Chicago event.
Right, the
and
Chicago,
then
but you asked
then the
but you
bad
asked
blood
me
and
about
left.
going back to Jacksonville. So that year, I think it was that year or the following year. I mean, all my years, I've been doing this so long.
Yeah,
We're at World Cup. And it's the same year I'll tell you, it's the same year as the Jeremy Solomon sniper event. So if you can tell
2001.
me what year that
It's
is.
2001.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It was my first
Is that
World
the
Cup.
guy that was in the woods?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're coming into the semifinals. I like Adam and Billy were the captains of the team, but it pretty much I was calling a lot of the shots. Like, this is what we need to do, blah, 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 blah. Well, we had George Davison playing with us. We had Kevin Ackman, who was, in my eyes, an amazing player. Adam and Billy kind of were on the fence about him. And we're coming to the semifinals, and they sit George and they sit Kevin, and I'm like, this is bullshit. Like, these guys need to be on the field. Not that the guys that were playing with us weren't as good, but I just felt that, you know, we needed to have those guys on the field. So I took a stance and I said, well, if they don't play, I don't play. And that kind of hurt me. And I ended up not playing in the semifinals. They didn't make the finals, but I ended up not, you know, and to me, that was a big mistake in my career, honestly. And then after it was the end of the year, it was World Cup. And I kind of was undecided what I was going to do. And Jacksonville was, you know, Kevin, who was a good friend of mine, went to play with Jacksonville. And they're like, come on, Frank, come play with us. Come play with us. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go play with Jacksonville because they were local. Everybody was local. I played the first event with Vegas with them, and I said, I can't do this. I got to go back to the All-Americans. So
I think the first event was actually LA because that was.
Oh, it was LA. You're right.
I was repping that event, and I remember the Avalanche game where you guys got into it a little bit, and John and
I shot Poorman. I shot Poorman, I guess this is what the story was. I shot Jeremy in his loader, right? Well, something happened, and Jeremy switched guns with Poorman. Well, I see Poorman with a big old hit on his loader, you know, and I'm like, how the fuck are you playing? I shot you in the loader. I didn't know Jeremy or if it was Poorman, right? So it was a big controversy after the game, and I was like, you know, you refs are fucking idiots. Like, it's plain as day. It's right there. And, you know,
that wasn't there.
Poorman came up to me later. He goes,
like, you pulled the flag, and then there was some shooting back and forth. And
like, and Ed's like, what are you doing? Shoot me. I don't have my goggles on. I said, Ed, if I wanted to shoot you, I would have shot you. Just because
he should have had his
gun.
goggles on, to be fair.
What?
He should have had his goggles on, to be fair.
Right, exactly. But I know, as accurate as I am, if I'm shooting at you and you don't have your goggles on, I know I'm not shooting at you. Okay. I would never do that.
I wish paint was always that good, you know?
Yeah. Well, back then, I mean,
back then it was pretty close.
It was pretty damn good. So, but and then after that, I went back to the All-Americans. So that was my
one event.
What was that?
That was only for the one event.
That was just for one event. Yeah, one event. And I said, you know what? And the All-Americans didn't do good in that event either. No. And Adam and Billy and I had
I think they reffed that event. We usually reffed LA.
I don't think. No, you ref Pittsburgh.
In 2002, we reffed LA for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know, but
because we obviously reffed the Gettysburg event.
Yeah, the Gettysburg.
That was in 2001.
That was 2001. All right. So right, exactly. Yeah. So they played. Yes, exactly. They played and they did not do well. So it kind of was a mutual agreement. All right, Frank, please come back. Yeah, I need to come
And
back.
like the bad blood they had wasn't like so personal, and you've built the relationships over years.
Right.
It's like,
It was just
and it was
me
like a
sticking up
mistake
for
on
my friends.
both sides in a way.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I understand
Yep.
where both people are coming from, so that
Yep.
is what it is. And then, you know, I think that was later that year. I cheated you in a practice. I remember.
Oh my God.
Damn,
So let
dude.
me tell you this story.
Yeah, tell me this shit.
Ryan, Mr. Young Ryan, had always had these blonde little spikes. He had these little, and we're shooting this yellow evil. And he's in the center 50. He
Mind you,
pops
we're
up
at like Adam and Billy's.
We're at Adam and Billy's mom's
It's like a
house.
nice,
Yeah.
neighborhood, and we were
Yep.
just in the yard, and the neighbors would come and watch us play.
Sup airball field and everything.
And strangers
So-
up there. It wasn't just
And
like
we would
local. Like,
have, we
big
would have
practices
battles
there.
with the all A's too. Just we would go at each other.
Yeah.
So Ryan's in the center 50.
Well, I
It was
hopped on
like
with Strange this time. That was the first time I ever played with them at one point. So that was the
So Ryan's in the center 50, and it was like a triangle laid out with a cone or something. And he pops
Witch's
his head
hat.
up and what?
witches hats.
Yeah, witches. Yeah, right.
Okay.
And I hit him dead. Boom! Right in his square right here. And I saw it, and I knew it. Right. And I'm screaming, you're hit, blah blah blah. Game ends.
Sure, I asked for
Ryan's
a
still
check.
alive.
My hair flopped right over it.
Yeah. Right. And like it turned into this big ordeal. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? You're hitting it. He's like, what are you talking about? And like they lift up, and the blonde is just yellow. Like, yeah. He's like, oh shit. Right. And I'm so frustrated. I am so competitive. Literally. I'm just and I'm pissed. And Adam's like, calm the fuck down. I'm like, I take my gun and I fucking throw it at a like what are those little cupcake Pikachu things they call?
Yeah.
And I throw it, and the thing comes back and goes boom, and I like caught it, like it would have like it almost hit me in the face. I threw it so hard it bounced right back down.
Guns weren't light back then.
Oh no, the gun was like 17 pounds. It was crazy. It would have knocked me out. I was like, holy shit, yeah. But we had some great battles. So
people had worse tempers back then. I saw lots of guns go flying. Whether we were down in Fort Myers at Poopy's Field, I think I saw
fight.
Mark,
The fight of all
fight
fights.
was crazy. But I think I saw Mark throw a shocker maybe 50 yards into one of those concrete poles the one time.
Oh, you don't know about the fight.
Oh,
what? You tell me. Give me the juice.
Do you want to hear the story of all
Give me the juice. Let's go.
All right, here it is. We're playing Rage. And this was
2003 before the season.
The start of X-Ball. This was the start of X-Ball.
Okay.
So we're just learning how to play this X-Ball.
Yeah.
Right? So the games are fast. We're going. So Rage has a guy in the snake. Myself and a guy named JT Bouchard literally both run this guy down and just stick him at the end of the game. Right?
Okay.
There's a guy on the sidelines named Adrian and Adam. They're standing right next to each other. Adrian gets pissed that we just both bunkered his guy. He puts his gun up and starts shooting at us. And Adam's like, don't fucking do that. And he pushes his gun down. Adrian pushes Adam. Well, I don't know if you know this. The guy that pays the bills, you protect. That's the way it's always been in my eyes.
So linemen should always protect. Well, I'll protect any of my brothers, even when they're in the wrong.
Yes, yeah.
But it's like the way linemen protect a quarterback, you have to protect an owner,
right? So we always protect our own.
Yeah.
So Daryl, who is now
later, if they were in the wrong, you might have to beat them up too.
Right. Yes.
But that's later.
Daryl Trent, who is one of my great friends, is now coaching the team and also friends with Adam, a protector, big guy, sees this happening. Adrian push Adam, runs over, and Adrian and Daryl get into a fight. So they're literally on the ground. Daryl's on top of Adrian, holding, and Daryl's a big guy. He was a guard in a prison. Like this guy, like Daryl and I got into a fight in Brazil. Man, I thought like,
and he's
we had mad respect. After that day, we had mad respect.
He's dirty, he'll stick his thumb on your butt. Like he's
we had mad respect for after
Hold
that.
on. You can't talk about sticking thumbs in butts.
I can.
Okay. All right, so back to my story. Wait, back to my story.
Yeah.
So
right in the heat of it.
I'm 30 yards away from this. I'm watching this. I'm like, what the hell is going on? All of a sudden, this guy, and this is no exaggeration, this guy looked like Vin Diesel.
He's a big guy.
Big ass, jacked, Puerto Rican, bald guy. Jacked.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
even know who he was. No idea. I've never seen him before, but he was jacked. He comes up behind Daryl and starts punching Daryl in the back of the head. I'm like, great. I drop my gun. I go running over. This guy's like this, punching Daryl. He comes up, and I hit him with the biggest haymaker.
He
and
knocked
just
him
went,
flat out like a board.
boom,
I was like
out
maybe
cold.
20 feet away watching this.
out cold,
Out cold.
like gone. Daryl gets up from being punched in the back of the head and turns around and sees this guy on the ground, has no idea what happened. And he's like, that's what you get. That's what you get. So, and then Adrian runs to like the little pits that we had behind the starting box, which was really like the penalty box back then.
Yeah.
And he grabs a gun, and I go around and start chasing him. And then he takes his gun and he goes like a baseball bat to swing it. So I'm like this, and he like swings. He swings, and I back up, and he goes to swing, and he like goes like this, and I catch it, and it breaks, and I hit him, and so I start pounding him into the ground, and everybody's pulling me off. We got Special over here ripping off his t-shirt like
do you know the
Hulk Hogan.
detail about the Puerto Rican big jacked Vin Diesel dude?
The detail?
I feel like you're forgetting a pretty funny detail.
Well, wait, it's not over yet. So I'm punching Adrian. So they're pulling me off. I hear Chino saying, "I'm going to go get my gun."
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like
gun or
gun.
Cops had to
Right?
be called to this.
And
like,
then all of a sudden the cops start pulling up. Right.
Yeah.
And I go to Adam. I said, if I go to jail, he goes, I'll be there before you will bail you out. I said, okay, that's fine. Right. So they go over and they try to pick up this two guys try to pick this guy up, literally one in each arm. They go to pick him up like 10 minutes later, boom, straight to the ground. We're like, no,
legs. He was conscious at this point, but he was
but he
not
was
knowing where he was.
Yeah, he was gone. So what is that what you were going to say about that? When they tried, what were you going to say? Tell me what did I miss?
So they really tried pressing charges hard because this Vin Diesel Jack dude ended up being like a 17-year-old high school kid.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah,
But he was huge.
Yeah, he was a monster, but he was
He
an
was
underage
huge. He was
kid. So
like
they're
6 foot
Frank's.
four.
They're like, Frank's knocking out little kids. He's not a little kid.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
Oh
he was
my God.
17.
Oh my gosh.
Oops.
Beating on mine.
Well, mind you, like all the rage dudes at this time, they were spicy. They were spicy dudes, but I remember them. That while they were going to
Oh yeah, they pull out
you come to
knives.
Miami, you never leave Miami. Like, 'cause we had a Miami tournament coming up. You come to Miami, you're never gonna leave Miami again. Yeah, things sound
my
spicy. The two fights I
should've.
really, vividly remember were that one and then the All A's 2 All Americans fight at Urban.
Oh my God, that was a hilarious
And-
one.
and
We're in
like-
Pittsburgh.
To this day, like people are always like, "Oh, All Americans 2 All Americans," your sister teams are this. I was like, man,
Oh,
there
bad
might have
blood.
been more animosity between those two teams than you could ever imagine. Like I tell Saransky this to this day. He's like, I hate All Americans. I was like, I hated them before you ever did.
So we're always practicing each other. And they get into a fight. It was Mark and somebody. Who was it? Mark and the ball.
It ended up being like everyone but like the usual suspects, like you, John.
Right. Well,
Chris,
here's
you
the
guys
funny
are
part.
off to the side.
Everybody starts fighting. I look over and I got Big Daddy next to me.
Yeah,
Right, and he's 6'3", 6'4",
not an
300
ironic
pounds.
nickname.
What?
Not an ironic nickname.
Yeah, not right. 6'3", 300 pounds. He
Yeah,
looks at me. I look at him. We look at each other and we're like, I'm standing here. I go, I'm standing here. You're standing here. He goes, yeah, if we stay out of it, we just took the two biggest guys out of the fight. I said, okay. So we just sat there and literally watched everybody else go at it. We're just laughing.
It mostly went through like, the Erie contingency from the All American Special.
Yes.
Mark.
Yeah.
And
Mark
then our-
ended up blowing his
and then-
elbow out or
Oh,
something.
he like hyperextended his elbow or something. He was out
And
for like
what
the
was
whole
the
year.
guy's name that was
And then it
the
was
cop?
all of our guys from Hershey area.
Who
Like
was the bald guy that was the cop that was causing the issues? You
Sheldon.
remember?
Sheldon. So he was
Sheldon.
he was,
No, that-
he was small.
that was-
all guy.
No, the guy that was
Oh.
bald that was the cop that got shot in the head.
Oh yeah.
That's who caused
Hopper.
the fight. What's his name?
Hopper. Eric Sullenberger.
No, not Eric.
So there was
Eric was a taller
Rock.
guy.
I'll tell you a couple guys who were the problems in this fight. Rock. He used to make pizzas out there.
He lived in Maryland.
Yeah, that was Eric Sollenberger, Hopper.
No, I know Eric.
Well, then it was Sheldon, who was the kid on our team, Junebug.
No,
his
he
dad.
was the older guy. He was a crazy guy back then. Crazy. Come on, I know you got it. Come on.
I mean, I remember who was on the team. It was Todd Kennedy, who was like a rugby player, wasn't that old then.
He was a Delaware police or Maryland police. He was crazy. Like he would talk about shooting his gun out in the street and stuff.
Oh, see, I don't know.
Come on, I know you know this.
Fuck me.
Come on, you got it.
I think you're mixing stories up. I don't think that crazy guy was here for this one.
Oh, I think he was.
Well, either way, the fight you can go on. It was bad. Like
it was bad.
It was bad. A professional player getting knocked out for an entire year. Like tanks were getting swung. Like I was probably like a 15-year-old kid, and I was in the middle of this fight, and I was like, I looked at Spesh, like he said, Spesh just like ripping off his shirt, always leaving his pants on, back then.
Big Jack Spesh, roar.
Yeah, dude, ripping him off, and he was just like monkey stopping me. When I was a little kid, and I think I caught him off balance and kind of grabbed his arm, threw him to the ground, and looked around and was like, I'm out of here.
What the hell was that guy's name?
I don't know, but I gotta tell you when we go off camera, I gotta tell you about the boogeyman.
The boogeyman, okay. All right.
Brian's like, no, it's a good story.
You should tell
him
camera if you're always being greedy.
All right, so
I'm not being greedy.
But yeah, so that was like, barely in the expo. I guess we'll have you on another time. We won't keep you to continue to this day and age. We'll keep you for a little longer for sure. But I'm just saying, like, there's a lot to cover, I think. But
there's so many. I mean, how do you?
We haven't even talked about any of your time.
30 years of professional paintball in an hour. You can't. No. I can tell you
talked about
so
any of your
many
time
funny
on
stories.
Dynasty or when you had Avalanche or when you were, making the guns or any of that stuff. But I guess I've always really respected your mind for the game. I'd like to know, like, a couple things. One thing, like, what could players today take from players back then and the way the game was played, and vice versa? Like, what if players now, what do they do much better than back then? There's one question. I'd also like to know, like, what you think is like your favorite time in paintball and like what you would like to see change.
So, that's a couple good questions. So, the thing that I'm not a super fan of Expo. I'm really not, because it's turned into a game of everybody goes to their spots and they just shoot lane and let someone run through it. There's not much of the mental aspect. Like in 10-man or 7-man, I could stand back and say, okay, there's a guy here shooting this way, a guy here shooting this way, this guy's doing that, this going, and find the seam and go bang, bang, bang and shoot 3-4 guys. You really can't do that in X-Ball. All you have in X-Ball is running down the wire with, if a gun turns inside and So to me, the game of that methodical game of being able to read the field and react isn't there with X-Ball. It's not.
No, I agree. I think my ideal format would be like 7-man X-Ball with long games on a bigger field, right?
Right.
You create those openings, because I think half of it's because it's 5-man and there's only so many people on the field. But I think the other half is that we play a 15-minute game. And, when one point can maybe be 9 minutes, like there's just such little margin for error. People aren't really willing to take risks anymore. And that's a shame, because that's the best paintball. So I think there's multiple things that lead into that. I don't know if it's just X-Ball, but it's X-Ball in its current format. Yeah. Like I think when we played 2 25-minute halves, and if you made people like hurry up in between games, you created interesting situations just based on chaos and having to pick up in situations.
And I mean, back when it was the 25-minute games, I mean, that was
25-minute halves.
25-minute halves. You're right. 25-minute halves. But it was like, I would remember I would go play a game. I'd come off. I'd bend over. Someone would hand me a drink. Someone would take my gun. They'd fill my pods, and I'd go right back out again. And I'd do that for like 4 or 5 points. And I'm like, all right, I need a break. I need to relax for a point.
And
You
hell,
know?
one of the reasons All Americans were as successful as they were was because like they took care of all those little details a lot of times. I
Oh my
remember
God, the
in
pit crew back
2003,
then.
well, the pit crew, you guys were the first team that had like an excellent pit crew. I mean,
Yes.
that lasted, even in 2006 when we won that Cold Douse event, like they were shoveling mulch onto our start box and then breaking it off, when we'd switch sides and stuff. But I
Wow.
remember in 2003, you guys had oxygen tanks in your pits. So
Yes.
you guys could get like
Yeah, I
essentially
started
like a
that.
professional pit, yeah.
Guys came down to practice. It was funny.
Yeah.
Guys came down to my paintball field in practice, and I'm like, guys, you're not gonna this 100-degree weather ain't gonna be good. So I brought in an oxygen tank for the guys to use at practice, and everybody's like, holy shit,
need
this
this.
works.
Yeah.
This works. So then we started bringing them having them at the events, and it worked out well. It did.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, that's science.
Yeah,
Hard to do
exactly.
Literally. Yeah.
Yes.
That was pretty.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. I thought, like, in just always Billy, and like, Billy is he's a genius, but he's also
A savant.
Oh, he's an idiot savant for sure.
Yes, idiot
Damn.
savant.
For sure.
Yes, but I love Billy
For everything that it puts effort into. Like he also, you might catch him trying to spray WD-40 in your letter.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Lick it up. Make it
Not-
slick.
Yeah, not to sabotage
he always
you.
thought
To
that
help
he-
you.
No,
Practice
to be
this.
faster.
This would be his shot. He's like, watch this, Frank, and he'd go like this. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm curving the ball around the bunker to hit the guy. I'm like,
What's funny is I used to remember him preaching about that, telling me how I had to do it and stuff. And then when that movie Wanted came out with Angelina Jolie, where she throws bullets like that, he's like, Ryan, do you know? He also,
Shit.
when I was playing at Miami
my
Effect and he
God.
owned the team, he tried to convince me that I should be using a remote with no stock and a Q loader.
Oh my
Because I
God.
could
Oh
be
my
so
gosh.
tight. Frank, you don't understand how tight I could have played.
Yeah.
And mind you, this is the same guy who, on the original Shockers. So
Well, that's like George.
the old Revolutions, yeah, we'll get into
Right.
George, but the old Revolutions had like, a little eye system, which was just a brake beam, right? Billy wired one into essentially a mouth guard so that he didn't need to pull the trigger and jerk his gun. He would just flick his tongue through this beam and shoot. He'd go, pop, pop, pop.
Are
he
you
was a special kid.
serious?
Yeah, the inventor of the
the
All-American
stuff that he would
Barrel
come up with.
and the first electronic paintball gun also did things like the tongue trigger.
Yeah.
I can't.
so-
I can't believe that.
But the All-Americans were nerds because of this, because of people like George. It's, just they had a bunch of smart, successful dudes who were inventors.
So I'll tell you the story about Billy. He comes out to practice one day and he's like, we just had the shocker, the 4x4 shocker, the brick, which in my eyes was the best shooting gun out there. Like that thing, you put your pinky out, I could hit your pinky. Like it was, to me, that probably was the most accurate gun I've ever shot in my life. He came out to me, he goes, Frank, I've been practicing. I'm shooting so much faster now. And he goes, and he shoots. And I'm like, holy shit. Right? And I'm like, Billy, let me see that gun. And I grab it and I go, bullshit. It was the first time the turbo, 1.5 trigger pulls for every trigger shot or whatever. It was like, the thing was ridiculous. I'm like, all right, Billy. Yeah.
And it wasn't illegal yet because no one had.
No, right, because they
like that.
rewrote the rule for it. Yeah, exactly. It
I
was
think you
one
guys
trigger
brought that
pull
out in
for one
Chicago
shot,
and just like mowed everything down.
Yeah. I'm like, what the hell? So.
The good old days.
Yeah, the good old days, exactly. I miss Billy. Doesn't even come around anymore. I mean, I love Adam to death, but Billy needs to come out.
He's so into air rifles now. Billy. He only can have one hobby at a time. It could be golf.
Well, he's always got golf. So.
It could be stocks. It could be shooting. It could be air rifles. It could be paintball. He's
that's you too, Hal. Yeah.
No, Hal's got 1,000 hobbies at once, so he's completely
no. The one thing I am is a good fucking shot.
Well, that's how. But Billy's not a good shot, so that's
no. Billy was terrible.
No, I'm saying if he needs people.
No, I'm just saying Billy will get very focused on one thing and love it and put all his effort into it until he finds something new.
That's good.
And right now, paintball is not his thing, which is fine. But I would love that.
Let a brother eat.
Well, that's why I want to eventually. I've been just so busy lately, but eventually, I think 10 man's become saturated to an extent. Eventually, I would love to, run a one-off tournament in the essence of what Tim originally had Iron City as, but do it as like a 15-man tournament where I would
Old school.
old school, but I feel like I could limit it where it's like I could allow 7 pros on the team, which could be almost an entire team.
But it would have to be all woods. It would have to be all woods.
100% it's all woods.
And it would have, and the fields have to be 500 yards long.
Correct.
You know,
because I'm having 25-minute games. I'm playing 15-man. I'm scheduling it out right. I'm only allowing X amount of teams because I'm doing it more for myself and my friends than the amount of people that can.
And make sure you're done so you can party at the end of the day. And
well, that's what I think. I would try to do it at a place where people could camp. A lot of people have campers and stuff now.
Poconos or something.
Have a keg party. Yeah, Hell Survivors in Michigan. Some fields like that. Have a keg party for the players' party where people just sit around, tell stories. But I could limit it where it's like you could have 7 pros, which is your whole pro team. But you still have to have 8 people that aren't. I can limit it where you have to have some over. Because I feel like a game like 15-man could get Billy back involved. Because if I could tell him it's 25 minutes, right off the bat, he can just drop and start crawling.
Oh, yeah.
And I never got to play 15-man before. So to me, like that would be really fun. And I think it'd be easy because I think 10-man teams now could merge. 2 teams could merge and have a team, put it in.
Right. Well, it's funny because I started to say that earlier and I because you guys said that I've played through all these eras of paintball and I contribute a lot of that to Adam and Billy, mostly Billy, because I was the front 50 guy in my younger career. Not a lot of people remember it, but I was the guy taking the 50 sub on the break while Adam was taking
They might not remember that, but they remember you racing people well after that. Well into you becoming a back player. I watched you beat a lot of front players in foot races.
But it's still smoking people, right? But their theory was we don't want to risk Frank early in the game. So they started to gradually move me to a mid, and then they're like, just come to the back. And their theory was
back here.
Really. They're like, you have a big mouth, you know what a front guy needs, and if we can their theory was always if we could turn a 10-man game into a 5-man game, we'll win it all the time. So if we turn 10 on 10 to 5 on 5 and the core is still alive, then they always felt that we could win the game. So I think that's what helped my career is that I went from the front guy, did that for years, went to the mid, and then ended up, ending up in the back.
That's what my progression is going to be. I just haven't started going back yet.
Yeah, well, yeah. The problem is X-Ball, there's not much in the back anymore.
No.
So
but I think there's room for all these other formats, and I think one of the reasons kids are now starting to become better faster is because of the prevalence of 10-man. You see so many younger kids playing that and becoming much better X-Ball players from that. You learn how to read fields, how to tree walk things, how to diagnose and break open a game, how to exchange bodies, and when it's worth doing that. You don't always have to wait till someone makes a mistake. You have to make them make that mistake. You have to sacrifice,
be willing to sacrifice a player to get 3 kills. Yes, exactly.
It just gun something else somewhere else, and all that those dynamics have to happen all at once. So I think that's helped the current game a ton, is having this resurgence of the past game for people to learn. So that's one of the reasons the top players, as long as they have come through all these formats and kind of dictated the way paintball's been played. So now they're not taking from I learned how to play X-Ball. They're taking, learned how to play paintball in any of these formats. And I don't need to practice this one layout 100 times, because if you put me out there blindfolded, I can tell by the situation. And you could tell me, I think a lot of times coaching goes bad right now because coaches will look and be like, well, what exactly positions do we want to be in? How do we break through this situation? How do we do that? And I just think it's such an unanswerable question, because the answer they want is, we should be here, here, and here, and then move here and win this. But it's there's so many variables.
See, exactly. The way I look at it, you have your initial breakout, and then you have to play paintball. You can't methodically, you go here, you do this, you go this, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that's great, but it never happens like that.
And even if it does,
play paintball.
And even if it does, it's completely different. I could put 5 people in 5 spots on the field, the exact same 5 spots, but put different people in there, and it plays out differently every time. It's
Every
because of
time.
the tendencies of the player. It's how the player wants to engage in something. It's what their mind's thinking, how they're trying to break it open, right? So you do all these little intricacies mixed in with that. You have to just learn how to play. You have to learn how to diagnose problems and problem solve on the fly, stay calm under pressure and figure out how to win a game. And I think too much of that is lacking now. And that's like the things that like I think that are probably hardest to learn and it takes the most time, but that's where players can make the most headway because that's the most room for improvement. I don't think paintball is 2 + 2 = 4 thing. I think you can win the game in 1,000 different ways. And if you're always open to doing it in whatever way presents itself, you'll find it. But if you're only looking for one or 2 ways, you won't.
It's about being fluid. No matter what happens, being fluid as a team, one liquid, moving together. I mean, real world combat or on the field, it's about being fluid.
No, I agree with that 100%. But I also feel like, people ask me, well, is paintball all physical? And I go, no, it's really not. It's very mental. You have to have the brain to play this game. There are kids that I'm looking at, these 15, 16-year-old kids that have all the skills. They're like ridiculous, fast, diving, popping up, shooting, running, doing this. But mentally, they don't know what to do when the time arises to do it. Or they're 3 seconds too late in making that decision where, nope,
you
had that opening.
The questioning in their mind.
Yeah,
always.
Exactly.
And the mental side doesn't boil down to just on the field. It's off the field. It's how to get in the mind of your opponent, what ticks their bell, like what offhanded thing you can say to them to get in their head a little bit to get them questioning it.
Yeah.
But that all plays in, and like your own confidence, because confidence is the most important thing in any sport. But
100%.
It's easy to lose, hard to get back. So you have to fight and claw to retain all the confidence you can, and however you get that is great. But there's so many players that like need that given to them, and they can't produce that on their own. And if you can't be confident on your own and have faith in yourself, then you're not going to make the right decision on the field. And then your physical attributes mean nothing. Like their physical attributes are just like the icing on the cake. But you need the cake first because no one wants to eat the icing.
Yeah. And it's difficult to win a paintball tournament nowadays.
Oh, so hard.
It
always has been, though. I think
it's always been a difficult thing, but when you win, it's very gratifying that things that you've gone through and done in your life, and being able to say, wow, I won this event, I did this, I did that. It's like,
and just feeling like a kid. That's just pure exuberation of winning.
Love it.
Beating the people that have also put this much time into it. There's nothing better than that. It's not.
Someone just asked me.
Nothing is given. You stole it.
Someone just asked me a couple days ago, do you still get the jitters before you play? And I'm like, I've been doing it so long, I really don't. But when I get out there, like, the adrenaline starts going a little bit. I don't have any jitters. I don't like start like, oh my God, we lost Hal.
No, I think he's probably going to take a poop or something.
Okay. You don't have that, I can't sleep the night before an event or, this, that, or whatever. But
yeah, it's almost like a meditative calm before.
Exactly. Calm before the storm.
Of adrenaline, but it can be more focused. Or before it's like, I don't know. It's like,
I used to play with guys that had to take a piss before. Oh my God, I got to pee before we go out there. I'm like,
pukers, people that have to pee like that. Like guys who have to poop, 10 minutes before, or like the clock starts. Like, there's tons of ways to get nervous, but like for me, like I learned the less I got high or low before a game, the more I could be consistent. And then that doesn't affect it on the field, because on the field, like you said, the adrenaline still is pumping. You still just want to win. And that's just comes with a competitive nature. And that's something I've always respected about you, is like how competitive you are. And that's, something that, I've always seen a lot of myself in you as far as that goes. Cause like when I look at you, it's like someone who's always had, supreme confidence in their own skill set. Didn't necessarily try to emulate the way they did anything. They created their own path and believed in the way they did it and made a career out of it. And that's, what I've tried to do too. So that's like it's the
Yep.
thing about you I've probably respected the most.
I appreciate that, Ryan. And I've respected you since you were a kid. And I'm like, I knew you were going to be an amazing paintball player from when you were younger. And I was like, I'm just so happy the way, your career has turned that into the person you are and the accomplishments that you've done in your career.
I appreciate
It's great
that.
to know that I was part of it to kind of help guide you a little bit.
For sure, and
You
we got
know?
to share the field at different times, and that's always
Yeah.
been an honor. And
Exactly.
like I said, like we don't have enough time to talk about all of like your accomplishments. So there
Yeah.
really
I mean, you
isn't,
want to know one of my biggest accomplishments? And it really wasn't me playing.
Yeah.
It was me teaching one of the best paintball players today how to play paintball. Not a lot of people know this, but I taught Jason Edwards how to play paintball.
Oh yeah. I mean,
His parents would
I
take
knew
him out
that
of
because
school.
I've been his teammate since
You
a
were
very
right,
young
exactly.
age, so I always knew
Right.
that.
So his parents would take him out of school to come train with me. And the kid I see, he's not even a kid now. He's a man, but I see when I
It
watch
was
him, I'm
so
like,
awesome to watch him win the MVP at World Cup last year. Like I
yeah,
think people will discount players like that too often, and it's like, man, Jason's always been a killer. Like you have
exactly.
no idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so they would take him out of school just.
Oh, they take him out of school. They come to the paintball field at noon and like, okay, let's drill for 4 hours and let's do this. And it's funny, he told me a story and I don't even remember it. We were playing one-on-one and like I said, 30 years ago, whatever it was, 25, 30 years ago. And we're playing one-on-one and he wanted to be a young kid, wanted to be aggressive. And when diving into the snake, I ran up and just lit his ass up, like literally 10 up his back. And I said, well, that's rule number one. Don't ever go face down when you're playing one-on-one.
Yeah.
Don't dive in somewhere where you can't, you got to keep an eye on your opponent at all times.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I learned that quick.
It's funny. You taught him, and then I used to go down and stay with Jason sometime. I went down when his parents had the field, and we like resodded the field and stuff. And Jacob at the time was probably only 8 to 10 years
running
old.
around the paintball store,
Well,
running around the paintball
we'd be
store.
out there like just in the woods behind their house,
Yeah.
and he'd be like, well, just shoot at me. So we'd like make him run, in between. We'd only take one shot out, and he'd be crying. We're like, you wanted this, and we would just do it over and over again, but in between like hunting lizards with blowguns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, and then to see him progress into also one of the greatest players, is awesome.
Amazing.
And like I said, we've been going for almost 2 hours. We haven't touched on any of the crazy European stories because I think like you guys are one of the first.
We are gonna have to have you back on because of my ski tangent. Like
that's fun. That's fine. You know what, guys?
There's plenty.
Just call me up and tell me whenever you guys want to do this. I don't have a problem. I'm an old man now. I don't do a lot. The funny thing,
I don't believe that.
People are laughing at me. I'm just telling you, people are laughing at me because I just posted up on Facebook. I need some good shows to watch. They're like, you're an old man.
I actually saw that and I meant to reply. I was like, I got some shows.
I'll tell you, I got the Animal Kingdom. That's pretty good. That's what I'm watching right now. I'm like, damn, that's a pretty good show.
There's a ton of good shows. But so anyway, like you guys were one of the first like main teams to go over to Europe a ton. You were involved in a lot of like the Hollywood stuff when they were trying to get on TV with Penny Marshall and Bo and Dick Clark.
Bo Carson. Yeah.
And those are stories worth a whole episode in themselves.
Wow.
And then, you going on to, you talked about your passion for football. You got pretty high into, refereeing football. There's stories that,
there's so much. But I don't know, like, you know what? I just feel that we've been going an hour and 45 minutes. People are going to be like, God damn, is this thing ever going to end?
That's what
you got to keep it captive. You got to keep it small.
We will. We'll cut it off here, but we'll get you on in the next, month or so and have a part two.
Like I said, just hit me up and say, Frank, hop on. I'll be like, all right, let's do it.
I appreciate that. And I do think that like East Coast players in general have been underrepresented in media and paintball for too long. And people know so many of the West Coast players' stories, but a lot of times, they don't know the East Coast players' stories and they're just as interesting and captivating. And
I will the one thing that shocks me to this day, and I don't consider myself one of the most known paintball players. Like people say, yes, I am, but I don't. But it's so funny today on how these young generation have no idea who I am. they'll come up to my donut trailer and they'll start talking paintball, and I'll start talking paintball with them. And I'm like, well, did you do this? They'll look at me like, what the fuck do you know about paintball? You're a donut guy.
Yeah.
You know, and then I tell them who I am, and they're like, "Oh shit," you know.
Well, the youngest kid on my team, like he didn't start playing until after COVID. He had no idea. Like
And
we're always teaching him stuff all the time. He had no
Right.
idea that Crystal Soy ever played paintball, that Matty Marshall ever played paintball, like anyone. It's like
Yeah.
you don't know anything. It's crazy to me.
Right.
But
I do want to ask you before we end,
Go ahead.
what is some life advice you can give to our viewers?
Life itself, or involved about
Anything.
paintball?
no,
Whatever
anything
you
want. He always usually asks me if we don't have a guest. If we do, he likes to ask.
All
a
right.
guest.
Well, one thing that I learned from my father, God rest his soul. I lost my parents at a young age. My mom died my senior year of high school. That kind of brought me down, you know, where I am today. But everything I do dedicate towards my mom and my dad. So I try to do what's right in this world. You know what I'm saying? But one thing my dad said to me is the way to be happy in life is figure out what you love to do and figure out how to get paid doing it. So for all the young generation that's trying to figure out what they're going to do in their careers, figure out what you love to do and learn how to get paid to do it. And that's what I did with paintball. Like
Yeah.
I made a hell of a living playing paintball.
Yeah.
I was well taken care of. Traveled the world, won
Amazing.
tournaments in over 30 different countries, done so many things that I would have never been able to do
Yeah.
if it wasn't for paintball.
It's always
And
great
I'm
to
not
have
saying
that.
I'm not saying, guys, I'm not saying paintball is the way of the future to make a good living anymore. It's not. I'm not saying it is, and I'm not saying it's not. But I'm just saying do what makes you happy. And
I was
that's what
gonna
you
say,
got.
whatever makes you happy, you can find
Yes.
your way forward. You don't have to have a traditional life anymore. There's means to learn anything. There's means to make a living in so many different ways
Yeah.
now. It's not fair to yourself to not give your dreams a chance.
Exactly. 100%.
So
Because just living isn't living if you're not being happy while living. If
Yeah.
you're just day by day monotonous, you know.
Like people will work their whole lives until they're 80 to then be like, oh, we retire and be like, now we can travel, but they don't have the health to do it anymore. It's like,
Right.
yeah, spend your money when you're young, enjoy life, figure out ways to make more money, and like live. And
Yeah.
don't
That's my theory. I'll be like, if I go broke tomorrow, I'll make more money. Like I'll do what I have to do and to make
Amen.
money. Yeah.
Amen.
But I want to live life. I want to travel the world. I went to South Africa and did a safari 2 years ago. I went on a private
Amazing.
cruise to Croatia for a week last year. Like I've
Wow.
been to I've been just the traveling that I've done, and I'm always going to do it. Don't get me wrong. It's
And I
just
think probably,
experience things.
and probably losing your parents early had to teach you that too. Like life's fragile.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's not granted how long you're here for.
Tomorrow
That's-
is not given.
So don't.
that is correct.
So live.
That is
and
correct.
Don't regret missing out.
And I yell at my friends when they get so upset. Oh my God, I hate my mom. I hate my dad. I can't talk to them. Oh,
No, you don't.
my mom's the biggest pain in my ass. I can't, she drives me crazy. I got to talk to her coming home from work. And I'm like, hey, I would give anything in the world to have 10 minutes to talk to my mom. Anything.
Yeah.
Like
Amen.
anything. Yep. So,
Amen, dude.
Nah.
yeah.
Well, I was
I'm
just gonna
gonna-
say I really appreciate you being here, Frank.
I,
and I had a
dude,
blast.
I have had such a great time, and I finally get to put a face with Frank the Tank. No,
I'm not Frank
I've
the Tank
heard
anymore. I'm
No,
Mr. Donut guy.
BS. I believe
Where there was
that
once, there is always. It's in there.
because the story I'm gonna tell you after this, there's still a boogeyman in me. So
Remind me
I
on
don't
the next episode, we got to talk about one of your top favorite things, and I think maybe the thing that you're best at in life, not paintball, not starting businesses, but something you enjoy and are really good at is being in weddings and giving speeches.
I want to hear that.
It's funny because I finally went to a wedding. One of my college football, I officiated college football, and one of my buddies just got married, and it was so great being able to just go to a wedding and not have to worry about being in photos, doing best man speeches. Like
A lot of responsibilities.
yeah, it's a lot of
Yeah.
work. It's like, wow, I just got to go to a wedding and relax. It was
Yeah.
great. First
That's
time in like 20
amazing.
years.
Well,
Yeah, that's awesome.
with
I
that
went to
being
Ryan's.
said- go ahead.
I went to Ryan's wedding, and he was like, he had a tear in his eye. He's like, I just thank you for coming. I'm like, Ryan, you're like one of my best buds. Why would I not? He's like, you came all the way from Florida for my wedding. I'm
Appreciate
like,
it,
brother, that's what it's all about. That's what
Means-
friends do,
Means the
Our
world.
wedding wasn't too traditional, but it was a fun party.
It was fun. It was
It
fun.
was a fun
It was
party.
fun.
Well, with that being said, we want to be respectful of your time. So, with that, let's wrap it up. Hold on afterwards for a few minutes. We'll chit chat, and then, yeah, Frank, thank you so much.
No, thank you. It was a
no.
privilege to be on here. Thank you.
No, I can't thank you enough because like the stories, getting to know people, it's why I wanted to start this with Ryan to just share stories, and I can't thank you enough. So thank you.
Love
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me, guys.
Anytime. With
Wrap it
that,
All right.
let's wrap it up. See
All right.
everyone next time. Peace.
Well, the whiskey's low and the story's all done, but we sure had ourselves some fun. From tall tales told to the last good pun, you've been rolling with the rowdy ones. Thanks for listening, y'all.